Let's see here. I want to make sure that the mic is actually running right now. I think it is. Yeah, I believe it is. Let me do a little bit of like check. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody, man? This is just an impromptu, random live. I don't even know why she left this thing in here, man. I think I was supposed to set up my tags and everything. I wasn't even sweating it really. Actually, you know what? Let me do that. Let me do some tag setting right quick. Let's see if I can go ahead and knock that out right quick. So it'll be a purpose for the live going on. I don't even know if y'all can hear me really good right now, because I'm seriously trying a new angle right quick. Last time I did a live, the phone was overheating, so I went with a different little monitor thing. So let's see what it does. Gian, what's going on, man? I see you. Man, what's happening? I'm about to cut the live and then go back on, because there was a lot of things that it wouldn't let me do when I tried to start the live. So it just randomly just went on live. So I may go ahead and do a cut on it to see what it's doing. But out here actually, man, with the wifey, she's doing some community service today with her sorority, man. So just out here, just kind of surveying everything right now. They're doing a backpack giveaway. 4840 Redan Road out here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Consider the day, Masonic Wave's good. Masonic Wave's a fave of mine. I don't even have any Masonic right now, though, which is crazy that I don't have it. That's interesting. They say, what college she went to? She actually graduated, well, she went to University of Georgia. She just recently also graduated from Baker College. We actually went to the graduation up there in Michigan, maybe it had to be about 2 months ago or so. We went up there. He said, I heard they discontinued Masonic Wave. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they did discontinue it. To me, that's interesting, because as much as you hear people talk about Masonic Wave, you would think that it would be something that they would keep around, kind of keep in rotation, but apparently not, man. So, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing, man. My hope, though, is that they do end up seeing the outcry for it and bring it back. Now, I say they outcry, but in all actuality, I don't know if there is an outcry, because we talk about it in the fragrance community as like Masonic Wave, cool, man. But, this is like mid-tier level, but a great fragrance. We talk about it a lot, but as I was saying the other day, man, a lot of times we are looking at things the forest from the trees, man. And it's kind of almost like we don't think about the fact that the rest of the world outside of the fragrance community ain't really even vibing with certain fragrances like that, man. I think it's a solid fragrance, but a lot of people may not, which sucks. It sucks, but I guess, there's production costs, things like that, that these companies have to cover. And if it's not making them a profit anymore, they just kind of got to let it go, man. Do what it do. Francisco, what's going on? What is going on, man? What is happening? I see somebody in here say, another black motivator. Why so many? I don't know if I'm a motivator at all, because I'm quick to tell people, fuck you. So I don't even know if I'm a motivator at all. Appreciate you jumping in. My whole thing, bro, I get on here a lot and I talk fragrances. I'm a fragrance guy. So if you're looking for fragrance stuff, you want to talk about some fragrance conversations and all that kind of stuff, hey, I'm down for that, man. Let's talk about fragrances. I'm always down for fragrances. So, That's what I do. I'm a collector. I'm a reviewer. I do review fragrances, man. So, hey, I can help you smell good. As far as motivating you, I don't know about all that, man. I ain't really good at the motivation thing. That's not my bag. That is not my bag. But yeah, man. I wonder sometimes with the Missoni scenario, though, if that's just something. Maybe they're gonna do something coming up. Maybe it's gonna be something new coming up. I don't know. I have no clue. By the way, guys, mindset of the day today. I'm doing my last test for Soprano Ice before I do the review for it. Probably gonna end up doing the review for it tonight. To try to get that out of the bag, and then I'm gonna be doing the review for Emerald this week too, the Game of Spades one. So I am hyped up about that, man. I'm hyped up about getting those out of here. I am so behind on freaking reviews. If you tuned into my live last night, you saw it. Like, I literally have 4 that just came in that is like, oh man, I got to get those things reviewed, man. They're fall fragrances though, so my thought is that they're going to be stuff that I'm going to be able to push out a little bit as far as reviews go. But I do have some other stuff that's coming in that's going to be more summer appropriate that I'll be clocking here and doing reviews on coming up shortly too. So I'm excited about those, man. Let's see. John said, could be a reformulation. You know what? I could see that if they want to kind of update Missoni Wave. My only thing with reformulations and stuff, man, is that, when you have something that works, why reformulate? Just drop another flanker, man. Like, Guy LaRoche, Guy LaRoche, with Drakkar Noir, man. Drakkar Noir has been Drakkar Noir for years and years now, man. And, they just decided, hey, we're going to do something different. Let's drop Drakkar Blue. And so far, so good. People are really getting into Drakkar Blue. People really like Drakkar Blue. I can honestly say that I think I like Drakkar Blue a good bit, too. Now, is that something I'm going to be... like, oh my God, in 10 years, this is going to be a staple? I don't even know about that. I don't think so. But I think it does fit into the modern day blue space enough and has enough of a little bit of a distinction, compared to price point and to the scent profile, to where it does make it a good buy for people. But yeah, if Missoni wanted to do a reformulation, yeah, just drop another flanker, man, and just slowly, slow down production on Missoni Wave. Let's see. Lenny, what's going on, man? What is happening? Gian said true, but sometimes they have no choice because of the banned ingredients. Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true, man. It sucks because you got a lot of IFA rules that are out there right now that are kind of determining, a lot of these fragrance companies' lives, man, especially the European ones. The old school European ones still use a lot of those borderline bannable scents, profiles. You're not getting real musk anymore. Everything's synthetic. You're not getting real ambergris anymore for the most part. I'm hearing that oud is going to be next on the list because oud is technically kind of a weird thing. It's a viral infection that is endangered, if that makes sense. Well, actually, it's not the oud that's endangered. It's the trees that fester the virus that creates oud, or the infection that creates oud, that has been kind of like they're starting to start really watching how many they have left, because that's becoming an issue now with kind of overproduction. So yeah, man, I'm hearing that oud is one of those things that's on the list. Now, you're not going to get much real oud. It's so expensive right now to get it right now. So, I could see maybe in the next couple of years where they really kind of hammer down on using real oud in fragrances. So that's true. I mean, a lot of these companies, they do kind of lean in on stuff like that. So I can see where some of these places just say, you know what, man, we're not making any money off of these, and the overhead is too high for the natural ingredients. We'd rather go ahead and fold shop than take anything that's outside of the natural that we're using. So I can see that, man. Lenny said Parfum Invictus, or Invictus Parfum, basically. Raban, have you smelled it? Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah, Invictus Parfum is my joint, man. That is my joint, man. It was one of the first with the new bottle design with the gold. The bottle design, the gold isn't part of the new bottle design, but the more like clean cut lines instead of kind of the bulbous, curved blue lines. It looks like the Invictus bottle got in shape. Basically, I love that black soap accord in there, man. When it dries down, it feels good. Like when you spray that one on and you're walking around, that's one of those fragrances that while you are the opening is nice, it's really, really nice, but you also enjoy other facets of the mid as well, because like I said, that's when you got that black soap accord that really kind of comes in and makes itself prominent, which is different than what it has at the top. You still get a little bit of that sweetness. It's not quite as bubblegummy as some of the other Invictuses though, but man, when that black soap accord comes in and it gives it that really fresh vibe, man. I mean, but it's a fresh, clean, but not a sharp vibe. It's kind of almost a smooth, clean vibe, right? I like it. I like it a lot, man. It's one of my favorites on the shelf. That's one of those that I tell people, if you want to get a fragrance that you look at and you say, I'm going to get a lot of use of that, it might be in my best interest to get a backup bottle. That's one. That is one. It might be in your best interest to get a backup bottle of Invictus Parfum. John said, hopefully it doesn't come to worse, because there's a study that overwearing perfume can cause and lead to skin cancer. There's I don't mean to discount that. I do hear stuff about that. There's also a study that says if you eat too much broccoli, it could cause cancer in your body. It's interesting because I think when you're dealing with natural ingredients, I think you have a better chance of not having those things happen. Then again, there's a lot of natural ingredients that cause allergies, and allergens are in those present. And I know for a fact, I have a friend of mine who she was really big into like the lavenders and things like that. And I forgot which company it was, but it was a proprietary lavender that I think it was, I don't want to say Dior. Who was it? It may have been Dior. But I know that whatever that lavender was, it was like a proprietary lavender, and it was natural, but it like made her break out like a mug. I have a friend of mine who's allergic to moss, so he can wear fragrances that say oak moss on it, but if it has real oak moss in it, he'll break out. That's how he knows if it's a synthetic or a natural. So there's that too. But that being said, I think that you spray at your own discretion, but you also spray at your own risk. I think if you're overspraying, you may have that issue. Not necessarily overspraying as far as like putting on 10 sprays, but I mean if it's something where you are like you're not cleaning yourself properly, you're not having those things, I can see where that could cause issues. And then, of course, let's be honest, elephant in the room, some of these fragrances do have synthetics in them that, you may, that right now there's no comprehensive study that can gauge it over more than, 5 to 10 years. So we don't know what the after effects are going to be on some of these fragrances going 15, 20 years down the line. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those studies, though, as they start to come out. But yeah, I mean, I think that we're going to see a lot of studies like that coming up soon, man. And hey, I mean, it is what it is. You know, if we find out, we know better. You know, once we do better, it's almost like, you know, back in the 60s when people were smoking cigarettes and they were literally saying that, you know, smoking cigarettes was good for your health, until more comprehensive studies came out and said, nah, bro, smoking cigarettes gonna kill you. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we say, yeah, I think it's one of the ingredients in all perfume, and the perfumer's alcohol, I think. Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I know some of them don't, but for the most part it is. They say, but I don't care. I love my fragrances and never going to stop wearing them. Lindy said, I missed that in the stream for past 15 minutes. Yeah, man, like, I wonder, though, here's my thing with that. I wonder, coming up, if we're going to get to this point where you're going to see people start to kind of, you know, a lot of these companies start to get away from using all naturals. Like, most of the stuff we get is synthesized synthetic anyway. Even, you know, a Blue de Chanel is synthetics. You know, I mean, that being said, it smells really natural. I mean, all it is the oils that are derived from it are better quality, more natural, more natural smelling, better quality, I guess you could say. But most of it is kind of derived still from synthetics. You know, it doesn't have the thing where, you know, you're taking the oil vat and you're reducing the actual you know, ingredients, and then, you know, letting it sit in the oils, and then, you know, concentrating and blending like in the old school days. You don't do that anymore. And it makes sense, because that way you can clean out impurities and all that kind of stuff. You can basically kind of, you know, also cut down all of the production time and everything, you know, get more quantity out of it a lot quicker. So that's the thing. But I got a feeling in the next 10 years, most of everything that we're wearing is going to be, you know, deemed completely synthetic. They say, yeah, the doctors would recommend you to smoke. Yeah, back in the day, yeah, the doctors would say smoke. He said, does it smell like Invictus Legend 2019? The dry down on this smells soapy on dry down. It doesn't smell like Invictus Legend to me. I mean, I guess you could see a little bit of that in the top, you know, when it first comes in. But the mids are completely different, man. The mids, that black soap is really nice. It is really, really nice, man. I am a fan of that fragrance. Which is why I'm looking at that Assad Zanzibar. The new Assad Zanzibar is I don't know if they're calling it an extrait or a elixir, or it's something. I remember seeing it, the new Assad Zanzibar. But that Zanzibar has notes that are oddly congruent and oddly mimicking the notes from Invictus Parfum, all the way down to the black soap. So now I wonder if the new Assad Zanzibar is going to be a clone, and I don't even think it's clone, because there's some differences. I don't think it's direct clone, but I can tell just by looking at the note breakdown, they're taking a distinct inspiration from Invictus Parfum. Which I wasn't a fan of the original Zanzibar, but if they're going with that in that direction with that one, sign me up. I'll be the first one to get a bottle. And as much as I've sworn off of Assad Zanzibar, you know, I like the Assads, I like the Assad bourbon, you know, some of those other ones, but Yeah. Zanzibar, I'll be the first in line for that one. Gian said, I'm going to go back to work. We'll talk to you later, Gator. Man, I appreciate you dropping in, Gian. I definitely do. Lenny said, I do not like Creed fragrances with reaction. Creed's quality has always been something that was never questioned. You can't question it now. But the thing about Creed is their pricing is, while it is high quality fragrance, the pricing, man, the pricing, it's to a point now where you have fragrance houses that are jacking up their price so unbelievably high that it almost makes it unwise, a bad investment to spend money on it. You know, you're giving life, because I hear people talking about clones and, you know, you want to get the real thing and you ought to, but they're giving life to these clone houses. I saw a documentary one time on fragrances and stuff, and they were talking about how, you know, most of the time these fragrance houses, the actual cost of making the fragrance, you know, is most of the time, you know, 70% less than what they're actually charging for the fragrance. And I get it. You want to make your money. You do. And sometimes I guarantee it's more than that. I guarantee it's more than that, because if I can smell Rayhan Crimson and smell Creed Centaurus and realize that the two are not that different as far as like the scent profiles go, and I feel like if you give Rayhan the same ingredient quality, it can't be that much of a difference in it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Louis Vuitton, I guess, is the perfect example of that. You know, as a designer, for them to be charging $450 for something like an afternoon swim, it makes no sense whatsoever. But when you're doing stuff like that, what you're doing is you're giving life to these clone houses. You're giving life to these inspiration houses, because what they're doing is they're realizing that they've got a niche. They're realizing that if I can make something that smells like that, performs similar to that, and I can give them that at a quarter of the price, and most of the time at an eighth of the price. I got a fragrance at the house right now, Pinus Orin. It's the gold bottle. When I smell that next to Afternoon Swim, I can tell that Afternoon Swim is the better fragrance. I can tell that Afternoon Swim has better quality ingredients. I can tell that it's really nice when I'm up close to it. In the air, you can't really tell the difference. You know, it's not that different. They're not that different. And the fact that I can tell the difference in quality, but I don't see it as being like a huge leap between the two. Like, I definitely know that the LV fragrance has got higher quality, but it ain't by that much. It really ain't. It's really not. You know, there's some things that I can pick up in that Fridge Avenue that I wish that they wouldn't have done with that one. But it's not that big of a quality difference. So what am I paying for at that point? Right? What am I paying for? It makes no sense to do it. So with its profile, especially a profile like Afternoon Swift, which is such a simple profile. Why would I pay $400 for that? $350 for that. If I could buy Orin right now for I think 40, makes no sense. If I just want to pay an extra $300 to get a slightly more natural like smell on the in the opening, because after the opening it's different. It basically kind of goes into they're really close after that opening. And in the air it still smells the same. Am I going to pay that extra $400? And the longevity wise, they're about the same. As a matter of fact, hell, Orin lasts longer than Afternoon Swim. So why? With that just slight distinction, why? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, as a good investment, it makes no sense. There are fragrances that are not clonable, that people try and they can't quite hit it. I get that. That's for now. That's for now. That does happen. It probably will change. But it makes no sense. So I don't knock anybody for wanting to have the real, like the original DNA. I don't knock anybody for that. But I also don't knock anybody for saying, hey, I'm making a business decision based on me wanting to have multiple profiles and allowing my collection to be a little bit more diverse, with the caveat that some of my fragrances may have some quality differences in there. For that $400 bottle of Afternoon Swim, I could probably buy 4 solid banger fragrances. And not all clones. Not all clones. Boucheron Singulier is not a clone. I love it. It's a manly blue. It ain't just a blue, it's a manly blue. $27. What? Still Life in Rio, Olfactive Studios, which I think is a better fragrance than Afternoon Swim, up and down the block. I talk about it all the time. Better than Afternoon Swim in every facet. More exciting, better opening, better dry down. It actually has some diversity in that fragrance as it kind of moves into different aspects of it. It's like $300, well, no, about $250 less right now. A lot better buy. So it's, you could get, I don't see myself paying those exorbitant prices in a scenario like that. Some people might want to. I can't see it. Not for that DNA. You know, I look at a fragrance like Triumph of Bacchus. It's hard to replicate that, man. That is such a fantastic scent. It really is. That price point's high. It's still high. So at that point, it's a different discussion you're making with yourself. That's a beautiful fragrance. Do I have to have it? If you have to have it, get it. There's certain fragrances that are, you know, you smell and it's like, I gotta have that one. Triumph of Bacchus. Argos is kind of a niche house. They're kind of an indie house. So I see why they charge a little bit more for their fragrances. Then again, you got a house like Day 3 out there in Arizona, who so far this year they dropped Tres Oros, which is one of my favorite. Like when I put my nose on it, I was like, this is good. This is really good. And I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about Desert Rain, the latest one. They've got fragrances like, Elan and Escalon, Escalando. I can't even say it right. Bonnie. And they're sitting around that $155 price point. Beautiful fragrances. Long lasting. Remarkable. Those fragrances, and they're coming from an indie fragrance house that is sitting on price points of about $155, which is definitely worth it. If Louis Vuitton stuff was around $180, I would say, yeah, I can see that. Not $400. Makes no sense. So I still want to smell. I still want to smell the new Mont Blanc Explorer Intense. I really do want to smell that. That's another house, man, that people don't show enough love to, man. Mont Blanc. You know, as far as like affordable designer stuff, they're in there. They've got some really clean, nice fragrances. Lacoste is another one. Lacoste puts out some really clean, nice fragrances that are, just clean, sweatable fragrances. Like I say, that's one of those fragrances that you spray on and you go outside and you don't feel bad if it only lasts for like 10 minutes. Although they do last a lot longer than 10 minutes, man. But Mont Blanc, the Intense, I do want to put my nose on that too. I should probably be doing it soon. But yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to what else is dropping at the end of this year, because there's a couple fragrances that I have my eye on, that I'm really like, okay, I need to really see about getting. But there's some that I've just been kind of craving for a while that I just didn't have a bottle of that I need to go ahead and get. Fan Your Flames. Gorgeous one, man, from Nichane. Nichane is another one that, excuse me, they're on the higher end side as far as like performance and everything. And price-wise, they're a little bit more expensive, but it balances out with them. They're not $400 for a Nichane fragrance. You'll find it on discounts most of the time for about $150 for a good one, man. A Fan Your Flames, I think it's $129 for a 1.7, $150 for a 3.4. So, yeah, you go up to $200. Xerjoff is another one. Xerjoff can be a little bit pricey, but at the same time, they've got great scents. Their profiles are really good. I still don't know about paying the price for some of those, but some of them they do warrant the price. Deified warrants the price. Torino 21, 22, 23 actually is okay, but 21, 22 they warrant the price. Xerjoff has a lot of them. Mephisto, the Mephisto Gino Uomo is another one that's really, really good. Those warrant the price. There's a lot of these fragrances out here, man, that they're trying to gouge. They legit are trying to gouge folks. And I think that with a house like Louis Vuitton, if Louis Vuitton dropped their prices to around that $180 mark to $200 mark, they wouldn't be able to keep any of it off the shelves. Lily said, "What's that Starry you drinking?" Oh, not Starry. C4. This is actually a Jolly Rancher, the green apple C4. Little energy drink, a little pep me up. That's going on right now. I don't know why. I usually do like the 5-hour energies, but in all honesty, they didn't have anything in the store that I went to that was zero sugar except for these. I don't do anything with sugar. Everything I drink is like Diet Coke, Diet whatever. And they didn't have any diet stuff. This was the only thing they had that was sugar free. So I went ahead and went with this. I like it though. I like these. Did live last night, and I was kind of talking about some of the newer pickups that came in, and I have some hauls coming. There's one haul that I'm really excited about in the next couple of weeks, but I have a bunch of fragrances that I'm in that process of. Look who's that? The Freestyle Eric. What's going on? What's going on? Like laughing. Okay, gotcha. But there's a bunch of stuff that I got coming in that I'm super excited about. But I'm realizing I need to start cranking out these reviews a lot quicker. It's harder for me to crank out reviews quick because of how I do reviews. Like, I legit wear fragrances for, 4 wearings before I actually do the actual review. I put it in different environments. If you look at the dent in some of my bottles, man, it's because I'm literally wearing it, but also doing resprays. I'm taking notes on fragrances. I'm like, okay, well, this thing is doing this right now, and at the 3-hour mark is doing this. Okay, I'm respraying this. Let me see, these top notes will start to do this in this environment. It's doing this. I spent a lot of time with it. I was the kid in class that was always like excited about doing the experiments. Yeah. So it takes me longer to do reviews on fragrances. And because they're like most of the fragrances that I'm doing stuff on are newer fragrances, like new releases, there's not a lot of, and I'd rather it like this, there's not a lot of talk on certain fragrances that's out there for me to like buy into and listen to and kind of formulate opinions. But I can formulate my own opinion without being infected by other people's thoughts. But I am working on doing stuff, getting some quicker reviews out. I'm not gonna say a whole lot about it just yet because there's some stuff that I do have kind of in the can right now. But I'll be doing kind of like these short form, like more short form reviews too. I'm also gonna be answering a lot of questions because I get a lot of questions, heck, in my box on my Instagram about fragrances, and certain fragrances are, like, okay, what's a good fragrance for a date night? What's a good fragrance for this? What's a good fragrance for that? And what I'm gonna start doing is dropping these fragrance lives. These fragrance shorts, where it's literally just, doing like answer mailbag stuff, because I think that's something that people like. I don't mind people reaching out to me here. I don't mind people reaching out to me on my Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And I'm always happy to answer questions and things like that, man. I'm always up for it. Always up for it. But I think that it would be good if I could answer a bunch of people's questions with the video. So that's something that I will be kind of looking at coming up soon, is doing those types of short form content, man. And then I'm going to start resuming my scent of the days. It's been hard to do scent of the days. It used to be a thing where I would do scent of the days, and it'd be a different fragrance every day. It's harder for me to do that now because of how I've adopted my review style, because there may be 3 days in a week where my scent of the day is Soprano Ice because I'm doing testing and doing things like that. So it won't be like, every time I, turn on my camera and do my little shorts in the morning, it was a new bottle that was sitting there. That's not what it's doing. I got enough to do that. Definitely. That the collection is kind of out of control right now. It's running. I'm making some new space now. As a matter of fact, I've got like a new storage closet. Like, it's in my office, but I got this shelf that's going to be kind of like a cooler shelf, like a wine cooler thing, where I can put fragrances in that I haven't been using or I'm not using for a while, or if I'm just like shifting from up on the rack to down and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be kind of like a storage area where I'm just gonna take my fragrances and put them in there, and they'll just about be like a cooled environment. I think it's gonna be 60 degrees in there, and you know, no humidity or anything like that. So it'll just they'll keep them basically stored in a good condition, pristine condition. And then, you know, I'm taking the maturation drawer and kind of redoing that and bringing that into the office, because right now my maturation drawer is not in the office, but I'm bringing in a maturation drawer into that closet as well. So it's a closet that I have in there that it's empty. So all that stuff is gonna be, we're gonna have a whole fragrance center in there right now, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that done. But I'm trying to find a way to kind of do a scent of the day without particularly doing a scent of the day, if that makes sense. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm actually looking to see, I got a bunch of stuff came in today from Amazon. Because I got it. So I've got a few things that I needed to get in, and that's one of the things, the shelving and stuff like that. I'm gonna kind of doing a redo of the table area. I'm gonna still be doing videos from the table. I think the review for Soprano Ice that I do today is actually gonna be from the table, in the old format, or the fairly new but still the older format. But I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of other stuff too soon. Like, that room that I have is not the biggest room in the world. It's really not. Excuse me. But you'll be surprised how much you can do with a space if you utilize all the pieces in the right way. Like, I still have my regular day job stuff in there, right? But it's like in a corner to where I could kind of work in that corner, and that's what I do. I work from that corner. It's not cramped or anything like that. It's just basically it's just that section of the room is cut off. The rest of the room is all fragrances and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be utilizing some space over there. I have my blackboards and all that kind of stuff that are there, and a lot of that stuff will go on camera soon. I'll be putting more of that room on camera. I'll just say that. But yeah, I'm excited about some of the stuff that's coming up with that part of it. But I think that was a long way of me saying that I had a lot of stuff that came in that I need to get the reviews done on. I actually have those 4 that came in yesterday. I have 2 more that are coming in, which means that I really have to get on these reviews, man. The 2 winter ones that came in, those the 4 winter ones that came in, fall, winter, I don't have to review them right away. So because there's already a backlog right now. So this week I'm dropping the Soprano Ice, the Emerald, Game of Spades Emerald, and my thought is I'm going to do a decant dive. I have to do my decant dive on La Persona, or I'm going to have somebody put a foot in my ass, because they sent me the La Persona stuff about a month ago. And I've been seeing other influencers and stuff like that, and I don't really technically consider myself an influencer, but I am a reviewer. So I've been seeing other people like drop their videos on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and I don't really do Instagram like that. I need to get back into it. But I've been seeing everybody do their stuff. I hadn't done mine yet, so I am going to go ahead and do it, though. I'm going to go ahead and get that knocked out. Let me do this too while I'm on here. But I am gonna do that. Go ahead and knock that out of the box. And then I will start doing my decant dives regularly again. Work has been kicking my ass. So I work from home some days, but for the most part, I'm going into the office. And, you know, it's an hour and a half drive to the office every day. Usually about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive coming home every day. So I don't get home usually until around 7:30-ish at night. And no lie, your boy just be wore out. I be wore the hell out. Because I got to put almost 4 hours of driving time in every day. Going back and forth to work on those days. That's why I be thanking God for those days that I don't have to go into the office. But that's been the biggest thing, the biggest obstacle into getting those decant dives going. You know, speaking of decants, my boy Lou Dizzle, what's going on, bro? What is happening with you? What is happening? Lou sent me a couple things, man, that I got on my desk right now, and I'm like, I haven't even had a chance to really sit down and like experience them. But they're on the radar. They're definitely gonna get smelted this week coming up, man. Because I'm gonna be doing my best to get through all of this stuff that's on my desk. Like I got so much stuff on my desk right now. Got so much stuff on my desk, but I'm gonna get through all of the stuff that's on my desk this week. I'm gonna have the decant dive for the La Persona this week, Harlem Brands next week, and then I'll start doing my regular decant dives where I just bring in new stuff, you know, like 3 new fragrances in decant form. And a lot of those fragrances I buy. Room 1015 Wave Child, that. Chicory from Mancera, that. You know, Fig Me Up, bought that. Like, so it's just like, bought all those fragrances because they were good. They really did make an impression on me. Juice Box, the Feeling Chill, that's another one that I may end up buying because I really like that one. So I got a couple of them that are coming in this week. One in particular, man, my guy Ross over at TLTG was talking about it. Corsica. I can't even think of it. It's a B something. I can't even think of it. Burkos, Corsica. The note breakdown took me. And then I heard him talking about it. I was like, yeah, that might be my game winner right there. That might be my game winner. So I am looking forward to bringing that in. I'm excited about bringing that in, man, for the decant dive. And I went with that one. You can tell with it's a fragrance that I know I'm probably going to end up buying the whole bottle because I got a 5 ml decant of it. Because I'm like, I'm going to spend a lot of time with this one. Because I want to see how this thing progresses off skin in the warm weather, in the office, and all that kind of stuff. I've got a lot of time I'm spending with those. When I do that long, with those big decants, instead of the 2 mils, I got a feeling I'm going to buy that bottle. I got a feeling I am going to buy that bottle. It has all of the things that I be talking about. I want all the things, right? There's one that Lou put me on. Veteraterra from Alfredo Dominguez. That's another one that's in my box right now. And I did not bring in the decant, but I got a guy who is able to get me a decant of that one. He was like, man, just holler at me next week. I should have it back in stock. So I'm gonna jump on that, get that together, because that's another one that's gonna be right up my alley. I got a feeling. Lou said, just checking in with your kid. Missed the live last night. Yeah, man, I was randomly jumping on there doing this. You know, I ain't had no real topic last night. You know me, I just jump on live just to talk to you folks and answer questions and see what's happening, man. I just be vibing. That's how it is, man. I usually have my little drink with me and we just vibe, man. I got in, check that replay, man, because I got in a couple of my winter fragrances, and I had swore off doing winter fragrances. I had swore off of it until at least mid-August. But I had to get Royal Blend Sequoia because I got all the Royal Blends. So I had to get Royal Blend Sequoia because that's that Angel Share Paradise inspiration. The other ones I saw I was super interested in, the Zenith Tobacco. They sold that everybody was saying it's like Tobacular. That's all they had to say. It was like Tobacular, and I jumped on it. And when I sprayed it, I didn't get Tobacular. I got Swisher. Like I got how when you cut the I was talking that talk last night, and folks was like, "Oh, bro, man, you was doing the most." But it smells like that. When you take a Swisher, you get it, you cut it, and the guts, you take the guts out before you roll the blunt. You know what I'm saying? You gut it up, and you lick it at first. That smell, that's what you get from it. It's like that really earthy tobacco. And it had like a little bit of a pop of sweetness, which is why I said it's more like a Swisher and not a Garcia Vega. Because the Garcia ain't got that same sweetness on it. But that Swisher got a little bit of sweetness in the background. That's what it had. And it had like a chocolatey kind of vibe to it. So it was almost like, Optimo is no. What's the other one, man? Man, what's the other one I used to get? Wait, let me not talk about that. I'm out here doing the most. But yeah, but that's what you get from it. But it's not like an unpleasant type smell. Anybody who got gorge, it ain't really an unpleasant smell. It just smells like an earthy tobacco. And that's what it was. It got an earthy tobacco vibe to it, kind of chocolatey. Man, I want to spend time with it. Because I only got that little kind of spray on the strip and spray in the air. And me and my wife kind of sniffing it. But to me, bro, it's like gutting a gar. It smells like gutting a gar to me. And with a little bit of a chocolatey essence, which might, like I said, made me feel like it's got a little bit of Swisher in the back to it. But anyway, I think it's good. I don't think it's tobacular, but I think it's good. So I think that maybe they've misidentified it a little bit. The Notes Jazz is the bottle that I love. That is my favorite bottle that I've seen in the last 10 years. Like the way that bottle is made, and this is for the music head in me. This is for the former rapper, former R&B singer, producer in me. That's what that is. It is really, really nice, the bottle. The fragrance itself hits me like Altair, right? I think it's actually silky woods. And once I spend a little bit more time with it, I'll probably get that. But right now, it hits me like Altair more than anything. As a matter of fact, I went on Fragrantica and nobody mentioned Altair. I made sure to put Altair on there because it really does hit you like Altair. G Boogie said, I'm waiting to see what your take is on the Paradise is. I took the Zenith out of my cart after I saw your Swisher take on it. Dutch Masters were my favorite. Dutch Masters are good. Hey, but you know what though? No, don't take it out of your cart. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it in like a good way. I'm saying it in a good way. Like it comes across like to me when you first open it, kind of like you gutting a gar. Like it's that kind of tobacco. That earthiness, that style of tobacco, that pungency, but it's earthy. It kind of comes across like you could take the tobacco, and you know how some tobaccos have kind of a texture to it. This one comes across like there's a texture, and you can like put it in your fingertips and rub your fingertips together, and it'll be kind of like, like graining out. That's the kind of like texture it has to it. Now, my wife, I just told her, text me when you're done, and we'll get it together. Why is she calling? And she knew I was going to hit the reject button. I don't understand. D Boogie say, oh, so it's just a good tobacco, but not tobacco. Yeah, it's a good tobacco. It's not tobacco. Not so. It doesn't have like a plum kind of thing. You could definitely pick up some chocolate in there, but it's good. I like it. I like it so far. Like I haven't spent an absorbent amount of time with it just yet, but it's good. It's really good. Now, I see her sitting over there now. Just a little bit of inside baseball. Now I'm over here at this little event, right? And I told her, okay, when you're ready, baby, text me because I'm on live, right? Then she still called. She do that all the time when I be like, text me because I'll be on live and it's gonna drop the live. Okay. And then next thing you know, here we go. But let me go ahead and get her right quick. Because gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we still open doors for all ladies. That's just kind of what it is. We still open doors out. So y'all hear me on live, but y'all don't see me. That's because I'm getting out of the truck. Ain't no problem. But yeah, we about to go ahead and I guess get into it, man, and try to enjoy the rest of the day. I'm gonna try to cool her down because she look like she been out here. Well, I know she been out here sweating because I'm out here sweating right now. So, But anyway, but yeah, D Boogie, make sure, man, don't take it out your cart. I think it's really good. I really do. Oh, it got smoky in here just from that barbecue over there. Barbecue smell nice.
It really was just a hot dog.
It ain't. I mean, it's hot dogs, but hot dogs taste good too.
Just a wiener and a bun.
Shoot, look, that's all you need in this life. Shoot, that's all you need. You good to go. Lydia said, hey, what's up, Gator? We outside too, man. Be outside. Being outside, man, that's the way to do. Get you some sun, some vitamin D in, and get it together, man. I'm about to go ahead and end the live right now so I can be driving safely. Man, y'all have a good one. I'll probably be on live tonight. I know me and SB and Kicks got some stuff that we're going to be doing tonight, and then I'll probably go live after that. I know SB got, he going to be trying to go live tonight to do to get to his 3, so I'm going to get on live tonight just to kind of talk to Ish, you know what I'm saying, to everybody. But in the meantime, guys, y'all already know what it is. And as we always say, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you make today the best day ever on purpose. Peace out.